Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka Q&T. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I just want to tell you guys right now, it is a very important time for Q&T to continue its upward swing here. And why am I saying that? Well, we're looking here on the macro view going all the way back to February of this year. We have been making lower highs. I know that it might not seem like it when we actually zoom in here, but it has been making lower highs since going back to February. $155, then we do see $148, almost $149, and just recently we have this nice little retest, and we topped a little bit at around $130 right now. So we need this to continue, and we need to retest that 150 level to see if we can smash through it, or if we do see a triple top. If we don't, though, we will continue to actually drop from here and possibly making even a lower low than what we did see back in June. I know that a lot of people are going to say, no way, we're not going under $100. You know, nice one, dream on, buddy, whatever. I want you guys to understand that there's a lot of factors around Bitcoin that could actually still bleed Bitcoin out well under 20K. I know that a lot of people are saying that like 20K is the bottom, that, you know, we're not going any lower than 20K. Yet again, a lot of people have made this mistake even in the past. The reason why I say, you know, it's not going to go under 20K is because on the candlestick body, it actually never broke down below the 2017, 2018 all-time highs. But it is what it is. I mean, like right now, I can't guarantee you guys anything. You know, we could easily smash through 150, go to $400 plus, go to a new all-time high, etc. Like anything is possible. Remember, this is finance at the end of the day. We are not going to be, you know, predicting things 100% at all. I'm just sharing with you guys like what I foresee happening around this market right now. I think that we are technically in a dead cat bounce. But in regards to the holders tab, we have been watching the holders tab closely. Going back on the 3-month span is where we do see the actual numbers really kind of, you know, surging from 49,500 holders back in May all the way to 63,600 as of recent, which you love to see. I think that this is awesome. We do see a few of the top 20 holders, you know, changing a little bit in regards to their holdings and things like that. But besides that, you know, not much has changed around like the price action. We have been kind of sitting between the $120 to $130 or $130 mark itself. We just have to watch Bitcoin closely going forward. Now, I do have this diagram over here from SEQ. Nonetheless, this goes back to July of 2020. This really kind of shares with you where Quant is positioned. I mean, if you actually look here, this is a very substantial diagram of just how Overledger actually, you know, works and how big it actually will become. You do see all of the major connections here to like trading partners. You do see all the major DLTs, etc. And going back, I have over here from Son NL11. This is saying, you know, imagine thousands of banks connected to thousands of financial institutions, connected to 1,000 government agencies, connected to thousands of enterprises, all transacting simultaneously and together doing billions of transactions per second. Only Q&T Overledger network can handle this internet scale. Now, I know that a lot of people are probably going to bring up like their layer 1 or layer 2, whatever, and say, hey, the scalability on this, you know, network is great. I want you guys to understand that this is completely different technology. You got to also understand that Overledger is a network. It's not, or I shouldn't even say it's a network. Overledger is more so like an operating system. It's not even in the same level as any of these major other assets within the space. Like Q&T as a like if you actually look at Overledger as a network, is completely diverse than like your layer 1 or layer 2 project in the space. It is such a different ball game when you are actually comparing like Q&T to like XRP. I've seen a lot of XRP maxis really kind of breaking down like Q&T and why like it's not going to be utilized or anything. And it's just funny to me how people are trying to make this the basis for their argument because they want XRP to grasp all the money by itself. It's a illogical way of thinking about this market. Like there's going to be collaborations that take place to actually allow for this technology to truly be ushered in and adopted in to see its efficiencies actually shine on. Ripple with XRP is no different. It will need interoperability between the legacy systems and the DLT systems. And, you know, Interledger protocol is just not the choice. We've talked about this in the past. But also, yes, like we've already seen a lot of this coming, you know, true around like, you know, connecting thousands of banks, connecting thousands of financial institutions, because when we look at projects like, for example, Ripple with XRP, they have major connections to some major financial institutions. And the funny thing here is that on Quant Network's products slide, we do see Quant Solutions, third-party solutions, and you can click these, by the way, and you can kind of see, like, if for an example, like if I click this, here are all the solutions within Quant. You do see, create value, reduce cost, mitigate risk, capital markets, payments, digital, currencies, insurance, supply chain and trade finance, compliance. Like, this is so much bigger than CBDCs, and there's a lot to this. Like, you could read all about this in regards to like what they have been doing in the past. But the reason why I bring up this diagram on Quant's website is because I want to share with you guys where this is actually positioned. So, here's Overledger. You do see the core Overledger API, you see the premium Overledger APIs, and then you do see the solutions, third-party solutions as well. These third-party solutions are things like on-demand liquidity with Ripple, as well as like major other, use case potentials. But then you also do see like the blockchain networks down here at its core. Again, remember, this is all interconnected through Overledger. This is the biggest, I would say, opportunity that you could really kind of look at within this market, because this isn't going to try to, pick and choose a winner. You're not going to sit here and say, all right, well, I think that XRP might be better than HBAR, or I think that HBAR might be better than this or that, whatever. Like, I know that a lot of people pick their layer 1 and their layer 2, projects specifically, and they, have their favorites, whatever. With QNT, there is no favorites. You don't need to sit around and think, all right, well, what technology is better than QNT? You don't need to do that, because there's only one Quant, there's only one Overledger, and with what they have done so far with a lot of their partnerships and a lot of their, overall insights around QNT, I would say that they have proven themselves on every single basis point. And when we look at the blockchain networks here, there's, room for a lot here. I mean, like, this is going to interconnect all of these major networks within the space, and it's going to look very, very similar to what we did share over here with SEQ's post from 2020. Like, this is how things are going to look, where you do see everything running through Overledger, aka the Overledger gateways, as well as the operating systems, and it's going to be interconnected to all major DLTs. I think that this is the biggest opportunity within crypto, and we do see here it all starts with Overledger. Overledger is the world's first blockchain-agnostic API gateway. It enables interoperability by connecting businesses to multiple DLTs, or DLNs. We do see universal interoperability, speedy implementation, no need for specialist DLT staff, and the SaaS API means no installation or run costs. Like, this is huge. It's built for enterprises, designed for the future. Again, I share with you guys this because at the core of this entire market, as we do talk about like major opportunities within the space, talking about tokenization of like real estate, we talk about CBDCs, we talk about finance in regards to like cross-border payments and stuff. Like, there's very large payment flows. And when we look at this, like, this is all going to be centered around Quant. The funny thing is, we go back to April of 2021. I know that this is a little bit of time ago, but we do see here the next stage of DLT market evolution in the next 3 years. This is talking more so about 2024. So we do see down here, DLNs are set to have a massive impact on the world at both an industry and a societal level. This paper looks at where DLNs will take us over the next few years. Again, our predictions range from the fate of cryptocurrency to the social impact of DLNs, and they explain how the world by 2024 will be very different from the world we see today. And yeah, let's go over here. So by 2024, they are saying, by the way, DLNs will be mainstream. And we do see the 3-year DLT market evolution. DLT is driving a transformational change in the way the world connects. Here we look at where this change will take us over the next few years. So first off, they give us an introduction. We more so want to kind of jump to like possibly slide, I think it's like after this one. So the rise of like regional DLNs. They just talk more so about like DLNs in general here. Interoperability will lead to large-scale networks. So here's what I really wanted to talk about. So another challenge too, and critical requisite of the effective implementation of regional DLNs is interoperability. Today, DLNs are mainly closed-loop systems, often with a single front-end application and limited or no interoperability. And then up at the top, we do see at the technical as opposed to governance level, this lack of interoperability is historically a result of essentially siloed nature of the underlying DLTs. Developed individually without regulation or standards to allow for interaction, current DLTs are isolated and disconnected. They cannot talk to each other. Again, this is why Quant is is huge. This was and is one of the main obstacles to mass adoption of DLTs and consequently DLNs. However, a solution to this now also exists in the form of a unique technology called Quant. And then they do talk about like, how they built it. And then down here we do see predicting the future of DLNs, crossing borders. So where does this all take us? What of the future, both immediate and near term? The growth of DLNs is a clear sign that practical applications of DLTs are beyond proof of concept and that the technology is rapidly becoming more mainstream. In fact, the growth is likely to increase even more swiftly over the next year or so. All the evidence points to near-term proliferation of DLNs and that those DLNs, which are easiest to connect to, will grow most quickly. And yes, I do think that this is the case right now. I think that we are seeing a lot of spotlight being put on CBDCs and even DLTs, as I have been sharing with you guys almost on a day-to-day basis. And they do even talk about like Ethereum 2.0 as well. For an example, we do see down here they talk more so about like CBDCs. This, of course, begs an obvious question. In the new world of asset and currency tokenization, what will emerge as the dominant technology brand? The answer is to this is unclear, but it seems highly unlikely that a single public DLT will be the dominant platform for DLT-based applications. And this is what I try to get, the point across to anybody out there who is a maxi behind their DLT-specific project. That guess what? I hate to break it to you, but it's not going to grasp all the money. And we do see down here, like while Ethereum has flourished in the past few years, the combined effects of its relatively low speed and high gas price, together with the fragility of public smart contracts, has proved a major obstacle to widespread commercial adoption. And this is unlikely to change, although Ethereum and the upcoming Ethereum 2.0 will continue and perhaps even grow over the short term or medium term. Supporting the cryptocurrency and DeFi markets, they will almost certainly plateau or more probably decline as regulation and reputation accelerates the growth of tokenized assets or managed or on-managed DLNs. It is reasonable to expect most of the lowest risk and most commercially viable use cases to occur on the permission public DLNs operated by national governments and regions or commercial bodies. Of course, major cryptocurrencies will always exist in the same way that online gambling will always exist, but they will coexist with collateralized single currency and multi-currency stablecoins, leaving little space for less trusted algorithmic stablecoins. Within a few years, perhaps as few as 3 cryptocurrencies will be marginalized by a move towards fiat-backed tokenized money enabled by DLNs. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty substantial. I mean, like again, like when we look at this market, there's going to be a very little amount of winners within the space. That's why I've always said, like, we need to pay attention to the ones that are actually doing things, because going forward, there's not going to be a lot around this market still left to really kind of invest into once we do see like proper regulations and things like that. And we do see the main predictions focus shift from technology to business, from DLTs to DLNs, growing impact of regulation and governance on commercialization of DLT, rise of well-governed DLNs, growth in implementation and adoption of national and regional DLNs, acceleration of the growth of tokenized assets on managed DLNs. For mainstream adoption, cryptocurrency will be marginalized by a move towards fiat-backed tokenized money enabled by DLNs. And yes, we are basically getting to that point currently. So, with that in mind, to me, I think that this is going to be, the next evolution of crypto. I think that this is going to change how everything around the space really is implemented properly. And I think that when we, talk about going forward, like Quant is going to be the big show. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.